So I told you about longing last week. I made this tweet and I said the bounce is coming sooner than you think. Here's why. And then I detailed why I believe that the actual weekly should hold on the total market cap. On the show on Friday, I said I am long. And then since then, as you see, we did have a decent bounce. So if you look down here, total market cap bounced about 13%. Bitcoin is up about 20% from the lows. You can see Ethereum being up about the same 20%. So you did see these bounces, but the market just simply can't catch a bid, and it's not looking good for Bitcoin. Now, I told you in the community, there's a link in the description, it's free. I told you that I'm closing my long positions yesterday that I have taken after the show here. And the reason being is because I'm up 13 grand on my Bitfunded account. I don't want to blow it, and it doesn't make sense to keep them longer. But what my plan is exactly and how I'm going to play this is what I'm going to talk about. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗬𝗢, and I do these short updates every single day. Been here since 2016. I'm a trader by trade. I make 4% a month, and that is 100x your net worth in the next 10 years. You can go and ChatGPT that. So if you want to come along the journey and make 4% a month and 100x your wealth in the next 10 years, subscribe to the channel, join in the free community, link in the description. Let's get going. So very important, guys, I'm here not to waste time. Let's jump in. One of the very important things is that there is a bunch of things happening. So the biggest short selling ever on the stock market happened last week. Apparently there is a lot of things happening this week that could potentially continue on the sells off, not only in crypto, but in the stock market as well. There is retail sales data coming, jobs report coming, CPI inflation data coming, 5 Fed speakers speaking. So it is a packed week. And last week I said that it doesn't make sense to sell Bitcoin at 63,000, but does it make sense to sell Bitcoin at 70,000? Now, I had a show with Ben Cowen. If you have not seen that, go and check it out. It's actually an amazing one. And we've discussed how he believes that the 200-week moving average has to be touched. If you look down here, this is sitting at $57,800 currently. Now, if you look back previously, Ben actually explained it pretty much that every single time after a drawdown, it touched on there, accumulated, and then moved on. So the good news is that we are very, very close to that level that actually hit between 55 and 56,000 and then potentially move on. The bad news is, if I look at the lower time frame here, it screams short. Okay, so I was actually debating here in the office with the team and with our researcher and 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 about what would be the best move here. And I have to be very honest with you, the best move is no move, right? The best move right now is sitting out. But I think the odds are for us for taking a short position, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing exactly. I told you in the community I closed my long positions up about 2.5 grand profit. I actually have it here. I posted it in there. Yeah, about 2.5 grand profits. These are the trades that I actually shared here on the show and yesterday. So again, this is one more reason why it's worth subscribing. But if you look here, if you look at the 5-minute chart, this is nothing else but an accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. This is an A, this is an M, and this is a D. Now, I told you about AMD. I have a full show. We're gonna put it up. Here. Go and check this out. It's called accumulation, manipulation, distribution, because there is accumulation happening here. There is a clear liquidation here, taking even the high. So if you look here, you take the 5-minute high here, the highest point on the chart. There is a close above there on the 5-minute chart and an immediate reversal down here with a market structure shift on 2 levels. This is a very strong setup, very strong textbook short setup. So what I could see happen is that this retraces a little bit here, liquidates up there and then moves lower, or yeah, that's basically what I think is going to happen. So the short positions that I'm looking at is exactly that. So you can see the same thing on Bitcoin, potentially a 2.5% retrace up here at about $71,000, and then short from there, stop loss up above the 72,300. I'm going to post the charts in the community right after the show. If you manage risk, it does make sense to take this position. It's still a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward trade. Now it is a little bit riskier to leave all the way down here because Bitcoin bounced 20%, so this could be like a decent sell-off here. But I'm not sure we're taking this lows before retracing to the 50% leg. But this is a short position I'm going to take. I'm going to post the chart in, but I'm taking this position. And if we retrace all the way higher here, I'm going to add to the position and average my entry down. Now this is a risky short position, very important. No one knows what is going to happen. There's a lot of volatility, but if you want to take a trade, and which I will because I want to complete my Bitfunded challenge as well, I do think this is a great opportunity. Long in here doesn't make sense. Now, do I have spotted out before I go into the daily retrace? Does it make sense to sell? Super important, nothing obviously ever is financial advice. I've sold on October 18th. I told you when I did here on the channel. The reason why I think it's still worth considering de-risking is because when you have a chart like this, there are two ways, right? So I've been very much debating, and I said it doesn't make sense to sell at 63,000. So why do I say that 15% higher, it does make sense to sell? The reason is because the chart is different. You would have been selling into a sell-off here, whereas if you would wait for a daily retrace up here, that would make sense, in my opinion. Actually, it's up here. That would make sense around 75,000 to start de-risking some of the holdings that you didn't sell back in October when I told you up here, okay? So the reason that is because this is the 50% retrace on the daily chart. Now, does that happen? I don't know. If it does, I do think it makes complete sense. If you want to front run that and you're much more paralyzed by the thought of this going down to 55,000, then, you know, to miss this extra 10% upside, I do believe it makes sense to actually sell some. Don't one clip it, but TWEP it a little bit, like add 15%, 20% sell. I'm going to start buying back, but we're in a different shoe if you're still holding. So this was one of the questions. But ultimately, I do think that on a higher time frame, I do believe that we need to get to this 75,000-ish region. On the total market cap, I'm looking at, let me just pull this in. On the total market cap, I'm looking at about 2.67 trillion. That's where I really want to see this go eventually. But it can come from liquidating down here and then going up and then having a final flush. So the reason why I'm not longing is because it doesn't make sense now. But ultimately, I do believe that we are going to get to this 75,000-ish region. And if we do, I do think that is a great opportunity to not only short that we're going to do, but also to de-risk maybe a little bit heavier on your holdings. TLDR, I am taking these short positions. Short position here, stop loss up here at 72,400. I realize that this is a risky short because this is still below the 50% retrace that I would expect on the higher time frame. But ultimately, I do believe that this makes a lot of sense. Couple of things I wanted to tell you. There is still, for a little bit of time, running a buy one, get one for free on Bitfunded, in my opinion. This is a prop firm. Again, I paid $1,000 for this account, and now you can pay $1,000 and get another account. So basically, it's half price for you or whatever. You can buy the small accounts for $79. But anyway, this is here, and you can trade with their capital and take the profit. So now I paid $1,000 for this account. I'm going to pass this challenge. I can do, there's a link in the description. I'm going to do a whole workshop as well. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that TooBit is our partner here. Very, very important. I want to, because usually you tell me that I'm not warning you or whatever. I'm telling you now. TooBit itself is a non-KYC registered in Singapore. I met with the founders, super freaking legit, major investors like Xiaomi, the phone company and the car company, and 𝗲𝗡, one of the biggest exchanges of its time. So anyway, legit exchange. But if you want, there's a cool stuff coming. A lot of cool activations coming. So if you want to participate in any of the activations with me, meet with me, spend the weekend with me, and a bunch of cool stuff around La Liga as well, I'm going to give you the details. All you need to do is to sign up using the link in the description and trade on the links. That's it. It's going to be based on volume. It's going to be based on P&L. So do that. There's a link in the description. Guys, TLDR, please be aware. Please be alert. You might want to be tempted too long. You missed it. Told you 20% lower too long. I did. Closed. You did. I'm very happy. I know a lot of you actually did. Super cool. Don't try to catch the bottom here. Don't try to be the smart guy. Don't try to be, it's still a very, very structure. If I look at this and you would think, you know, if you would look at this, then you think, you know, this is not something I want to long here. I want to make sure that I'm actually long in when I have some major setup that I can relate to. Something like this that happened here, something like this that happened here, something like this that happened here. You're not going to miss it. I promise you. Do not get wrecked. Guys, this is a video you want to check out. Make sure that you watch this. This is the AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Check that because that just happened on a 5-minute chart and you will understand why I'm taking these positions. Click it to subscribe. Join in the community. Link in the description. Use the BOGO, buy one, get one for free on Bitfunded. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.